Hello, everybody. Just wanted to take a minute to kind of go over some work that we're doing for Tag No More. Just some simple stuff with ASP, and just thought it'd be good, if anything, for TS just to kind of get an idea of what we're doing. So I'm going to go over a quick ASP page. So basically, I'm going to put together like a mock-up where we want to read and write to a file with ASP, and that's simply for the purposes of doing some work with Tag No More. And I thought it'd be good just to show you some basics. So if anything, let me know if you have any questions after. But let's go ahead and get started. I'll just share my screen. Maybe I can do this. Share the screen. Okay. So again, this is just a quick test to show you how to manipulate files, reading, writing with ASP. So as you can see, I have a test ASP file, and again, I'm just running IAS, and I have it set up to simply do the basic permissions for giving access to IAS to read and write to directories within the WW root. So that's simply what you need to do, some minor configurations. I'm not going to really go into that part, but just FYI, setting up IAS Manager to allowing to read and write to the directory structure is all that's needed. Below here, so basically this test ASP, I have it open in Notepad++. It's simply, what the goal here is simply to read from a file and write to a file. So first thing I have is just some HTML that says, hey, it's fun with ASP. Within ASP, I have some objects dimensioned, which is essentially it's just an initialization keyword in ASP, so it means dimension. I have, and again, it's just nothing more than vars, like in JavaScript. So I have a variable or variable for a few different things. So file. So we need to basically instantiate a few objects. So there's a file system object, or I should say a file scripting object. I have a variable for a file reader object, a variable for a file writer, a variable for name and age. So the first thing we do is, with ASP, we gotta do a file system object. So we set FSO, or the file system object, to this server.createObject. So that allows us to work with the file system. Once we do that, we can then use the file system object to do stuff like create a text file, or read a text file, or open a text file. And then we set that back to the file writer variable. With that file writer variable now defined, we can do something like a simple function like writeLine, where I'm essentially writing to this file that's located at this location, test.txt, in the same directory here. So as you can see, it will be in the same directory. So I'm just going to write 2 lines out, green lantern as the first line and 30th as the last line. So basically, I wanted to put a name and an age there. Essentially, we close the file writer, so we have to close that object. The next part of this basically does the same thing, but for reading from a file. So again, file reader opens a text file for reading. It sets the name variable to the first line, and it sets age to the second line. Then I just closed it real quick, and then we set our objects to nothing in ASP. And then basically I have some HTML down here. So once I put together that ASP, I'll just go ahead and run it. So here I have the browser here. I'll just go ahead and pull up the localhost, and here it is right here. And we'll go ahead and run it. And as you can see, if you didn't notice it, but it created the file test.txt here. It should have written 2 lines, which it did. So green lantern and 30th. And as you can see, we read from that file, it's the name and age, and we basically used ASP to write it back to the page. And then, of course, the end result here is happy birthday again to David, who turns 30 tomorrow. So I just wanted to embarrass David with this little mini exercise. So that's it for me, guys. Just wanted to share that with you guys. We got a kick out of it. We'll talk later.